Every week, I introduce you to a marketing master who will share their expertise to help you market and sell more books. Today, my special guest is a marketing superstar. Gundi Gabrielle, also known as the Savvy Zen Girl, loves to explain complex matters in an easy-to-understand, fun way. I love that. That's just my style of person. She's a 10-time #1 best-selling author, entrepreneur, and former Carnegie Hall conductor. Gundi employs marketing chops from all walks of life and loves to help her readers achieve their dreams in a practical, fun way. Her students have published multiple #1 best-selling, outranking the likes of Tim Ferriss, John Grisham, and Liz Gilbert. And when she's not writing books, she's enjoying a cat on her lap, or both. She's passionate about exploring the world as a digital nomad, one awesome adventure at a time. Gundi, what an honor it is to welcome you to the show, and thank you for being this week's guest expert and mentor.
Thank you so much for having me, Susan.
So, Gundi, you're so accomplished in many areas of marketing. You're a 10-time bestseller. Talk to us about the importance of bestseller status and what it can do for our nonfiction authors.
Well, it can do so many things. For one, yes, it can create passive income, but you can leverage the traffic you can get from best-selling books if you keep them selling into all kinds of other things. In other words, you can think of your books, or you should actually in nonfiction, sort of as the beginning of your sales funnel, where this is sort of the lead in, where you draw people in, because it's pretty easy to connect with people all around the world if you use Amazon's big marketing platform, and introduce them to you and your service or your business or whatever you do, like coaching, consulting, or courses. And when you write a good book and it's very engaging, then people will usually want to find out more, especially when you share case studies and success stories from your business. And so it's a great funnel, really, or lead-in into more high-ticket services like coaching, consulting, online courses, even premium courses, and the like. So you can really build a whole funnel out of that goes far beyond just the book publishing, and actually build a very successful brand and reach people in ways that I don't actually know any other platform that does that, even social media, certainly with much less effort than you would have to put into social media to get the same kind of traffic and attention. And even if you get the traffic from social media, they don't respect you as much as when you are a best-selling author, because that is just a status thing that people admire, and it's different. And the other thing is, on social media, you have these short little blips that you post, but in a book, you can really build a relationship with the readers and basically have a conversation with them. And that is incredibly powerful, because a lot of my readers tell me that they feel like they know me after they read the book. So they connect with you and they trust you on that level. In other words, you introduce yourself in a very non-salesy way. So you share information, you help them, but at the same time, you're also presenting your business or whatever you do. So it's also your business card, but it doesn't feel like that to the reader.
Whoa, in just a few minutes, you have just opened the floodgates here.
That's the information there, yeah.
Oh, so you talked about keeping your books selling. Talk to us more about that. How do you do that in a way that is easy, let's say, for our listeners to even think about doing themselves?
Well, one key I found, and I've seen this with my students as well, is what I call the Evergreen bestseller hack. And that is, rather than writing this big, massive book on one topic, it is much smarter to split that up and write a series of shorter books around the topic. And it can be a related topic, and you can plan that out right from the start, and then write shorter books of about, 15 to maximum 25,000. That's about as much as people want to read. And if they like your style, they will want to read more, and they wait for your next book. And oftentimes in nonfiction, you can cover different aspects of the same topic. And if they like one, then they want all. And there's another very cool effect, is that Amazon actually shows all the thumbnails right underneath the main book. You've probably seen this with other books. So it's like these little mini ads, free, right underneath your book. what I've noticed again with my readers, because they say it all the time, even in the reviews, if they like one book, they often buy the entire series. It becomes sort of irresistible. Series is an addiction to all of us, right? If we see something and we really like it, then we kind of have to have it all. It's just a thing. And it's the same with your books. So you do that, you draw people in, and you're building a very strong brand that people recognize. So you're not just an author, you're also a brand. And very importantly, each book helps sell each other, even if they don't buy all the other books. But in my case, for instance, the Beginner Internet Marketing Series, the sassy way when you have no clue. When people come in, let's say, through the social media book, they may like it, and then they see, oh, there's also one about SEO, and I don't know anything about SEO, so I'm going to read that too. Or Kindle publishing, or blogging. You draw them in, and then they realize they like the style, and this is really helpful, and it's sort of a whole thing that ties in together, and they buy that too. And the other element, very importantly, is, especially when you start that series, I published mine pretty shortly together, like 3 to 4 weeks in most cases. Each launch gives the whole series a push, because once again, people come, they buy this one book, and then they see, oh, there's all these other books, and I really liked it. So every time you have a new book, it invigorates the entire series, and that is really important, because it's not easy to keep books selling long term. In fact,